Good morning, Mr. Remo. It's an honor to be with you here in the Musikmesse2010 and to interview you for planetdrum.com. Could you please tell us something about your new products that you have here, which are not very related to only drum heads?
Yes, I'll be very happy to. As a matter of fact, you're asking me something that I would like very much to share with you and your general public. Okay, what has been known for years as the musician, amateur, professional, or whatever it might be, that there is a certain amount of sound that's associated with a musical instrument. And there have been many times in which a musical instrument can be used because of the volume of sound that the instrument makes. So consequently, in this regards, we have given some thought to the instruments that are used generally for hand percussion, so to speak. And we have now come up with a product line that we call NSL, which means not so loud. And so we'll have an entire line of instruments that are NSL, which will allow the professional as well as the general public to use these instruments wherever they choose, because they don't make a great deal of volume if you don't want to. So this is an example of the not so loud. It's a very lightweight, easy to transport. And currently we're making it in 3 sizes, and one size fits into the other. So you have a condition in which you have very little room is taken up with storing the drums. But getting to the drum itself, we have made a new material that is what we would call then the drum head. With the drum head, instead of being a film material or skin material as drum heads are, I have developed a product that is a solid product that has both the feel and the tone conditions that I thought would fit into not so loud. I've taken out all of the high harmonics that are associated, that are sometimes difficult to take care of in drum heads and in drum sounds. So I'll play this one. Soft mallets, you get a basic fundamental that there is no drum of this type that's currently made that will give you the same tones that this will. So when amplified, this is a very interesting professional tool that can be used. Now, to take this a step further, depending on if you're talking about schools, hospitals, therapy, a whole lot of conditions that are out there that are really the basic market for these kind of instruments, we have now what we call a VCC or volume control cap. What this is, we place it over the not so loud, and this becomes even quieter to where you and I are going to be able to carry on a conversation, and I can play as much as I want to play with it, and it will not drown us out. It will not make it uncomfortable for us to speak to one another. Now, in the home, especially if you're in condominiums, apartments, or places where it's just impossible to play a drum of this kind, you now have a drum that you can play. So this I consider one of the major firsts in the history of the music products, to where you have an instrument of this kind that can be controlled, that the sound can be controlled, and it's not electronic, which is NSL. The second thing that we've developed that I consider to be a major step now is what we call skin deep. It's a new line of drum heads that we've developed that mimic natural skin, not only in appearance, but in the nuance of sound that comes with the natural skin. So in instruments like the Brazilian pandero, we have developed this skin deep, this look that has the basic low sounds that the people who know how to play the pandero really speak very well in what we've developed here. So between the not so loud and skin deep, we're now introducing two major product lines into the industry. I'm proud to say that so far so good.
How much did Remo help the industry of drums to develop and to give now the young drummers what they have?
Well, the industry, as you know it, would not have happened. And I don't lay this to the success of Remo. I lay this to the development of the film that is called Mylar, that we took and made a drumhead with it. That if that had not occurred at the very beginning of rock and roll, which is 1959, 1960, we started 1957. So starting at that time, if the film had not been developed and we by accident had not discovered it and what it could do, what you consider to be the rock and roll industry today could not be. The number of drum sets that were made and sold could not have been done. In addition to that, because of what we had and what we knew, I think the most important thing we did is we standardized the industry, that you can now buy a 14-inch head any place in the world and it will fit your drum. And it'll be the same. So that was not possible. So what is now considered to be every day, you need a drum head, you go get a drum head. You've had no experience in dealing with a market that could not, and if you had a drum head, it didn't fit your drum. So there are many things that, starting with this basic film, that was able to revolutionize the whole drum set industry and allow so many people to have fun playing drums. Yeah.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next year, maybe here again, or in Los Angeles.
I hope in Los Angeles.